Let's move to this now. Labor union Saccawu has accused retail giants Massmart of brutal attacks on collective bargaining and instilling fear in workers through mass dismissals. Saccawu is against the Walmart takeover of Massmart. Joining us now is Mike Dau, who is the Saccawu Deputy President. Mike, thank you so much for making time for us on News PM this afternoon. You have accused the employer of not only brutal attacks on collective bargaining, but of bullying tactics and intimidation. What's happened?
Good afternoon and good afternoon to the viewers, and thank you for having us here. We've been with this company for as long as I can remember, but we have never had a prolonged dispute like we are having with Makro since Makro was bought by Walmart. We have never experienced mass dismissal in Makro like we have experienced now, where the intimidation was clear strategy of Makro or Walmart by making sure that whenever we are protesting, they identify those who purported to be active members of Saccawu or even Shopsure. They first targeted Shopsure from the national leadership within that council of Makro, suspend them, and then make it easy for them to suspend. By suspending leadership, you are intimidating those who are below the leadership. And over the years, the maximum that we will take when negotiating for improvement of better working condition in every year, it will take us 2 to 3 weeks, then we settle. With this one, it took us almost a year now. We are just few days away for start bargaining or implementing the 2023-2024 better working condition. But we have not done that because since we declared a dispute, the company has not come to the table and persuade us to another level where we can see the new offer and be able to accept that offer. Ever since they were sitting on their 4.25%, up until now, they haven't moved.
And what are you demanding?
Our initial demand was 12% or 900 rands, whichever works out the greater. We were demanding a minimum salary of 800 rands. We are demanding the improvement of commission from 10% to 20%. We were demanding something that is merely administrative, that the 13th check should be paid on the 15th of December. We're demanding better hours for those who now are non-permanent from 160 to 195. We're as well as demanding moratorium on retrenchments during the duration of this agreement. All what the company has said is to give us 4.25% or 410, whichever is the greater, but also says we must remove 295 members who are, they believe that they are in the managerial position. Unfortunately, we can't do that because those are our members. We've been bargaining for them ever since, and we can't exclude them from the bargaining processes or from the bargaining unit.
Okay, so what's next now that there's a deadlock in negotiations? Are you going to continue with your strike, and is it going to continue up until the Easter weekend, which is quite a busy period for a company like Massmart? What impact do you expect if you will be continuing until that crucial weekend?
Yeah, in actual fact is that we actually gave them a 48 hours notice, of which today is the first day that started with marches in about 3 provinces. And from tomorrow, it will be picketing in all the macro stores. And we will assess the situation towards the end of this 10-day 10 days, which is lapsing on the 3rd. 2 days or 3 days before it lapses, we'll make an assessment. If there's a need to prolong the strike, we'll take the decision at that time.
Okay, so you've mentioned that you've always been opposed to the Walmart takeover of Massmart. You've spoken about the 500 or so employees that have now been dismissed. What have been the consequences of this Walmart takeover on employees?
Yeah, the consequences of Walmart taking over is exactly what is happening currently. But the most important thing that you must know is that when they took over, you had what is called Dion Ware, and we had some wholesalers, small and big, that were falling under what was known as Massmart. You had your game has retrenched and is busy closing down the stores because we suspect that the game is not be recognized as the core business of Walmart. They decided to close all the 22 stores of Dion Ware because they believe that there is not their core business. They have sold 143 stores, small stores, to ShopRite because they believe that it's not their core business. What if ShopRite was not in a position to take over those 143 stores? It would suggest that they could have closed them down and then workers could have been jobless. And we were worried that they might go the similar route because they're busy slowly doing away with game. And they have already retrenched in game. For past 2 years, they have retrenched over 2,000, adding to current rate of unemployment in the country. And we warn them that we want the government that Walmart, through our own sister unions in Canada and in America, that they believe in free trade union operation. They don't believe in the trade union. And they promised that they would buy 70% from local. But we believe that they are not buying all their products. That 70% does not exist. It's just on paper. And they promised to assist SMMEs, but we believe that that is not. It was just on paper. Because during the competition tribunal, the agreement of doing all these things was to last for 3 years. Now the 3 years has lapsed. Now they are showing their true colors.
What's the status of the almost 500 employees that were dismissed?
What we have done is that, remember, there are procedures that we need to follow. We have already filed for conciliation, and then if conciliation doesn't work, we'll go to arbitration. But we are also even looking at the possibility through our legal people, the possibility of taking this matter direct to the Labour Court.
All right. Mike Tau, Saccawu Deputy President, thank you for making time for us on Newsfeed PM.